Welcome to my kitchen. I'm going to cook today. Yeah, I know, kind of weird. I'm sure Paula Deen will be positively green with envy, but her insecurities are her problem. You know, I can't do anything about that. She's just going to have to deal with it. I'm not really going to cook. I'm just going to make stuff in the kitchen. You know, food type stuff that's not really crafty. I don't normally cook a lot or ever really. The way I look at it, why waste all of that time cooking when I could be eating? You know, it just makes no sense to me. Somebody has to cook it to begin with, but it doesn't have to be me. Not at all. So I don't cook a whole lot. But I was making my grocery list yesterday. We're having some friends are coming tomorrow to visit for the weekend, and I was making my list of, you know, what I need to pick up. And I saw in my pantry I had an extra graham cracker pie crust. I think I bought it over the holidays. I bought 2 and only used 1, and you know they have a shelf life of about 4 years. So I thought, well, I'll use that up. And then I noticed in the freezer I had a tub of Cool Whip. So, graham cracker crust, Cool Whip, caramel pie. This won't be like a start to finish recipe thing, but you don't need a start to finish with this. Trust me, I'll just tell you how it goes, and then, you know, if you want to try it, try it. You start with a can of Eagle brand, or any brand, sweetened condensed milk. This is the little 14-ounce size. And I'll put the recipe at the end of the video or at the bottom or something, so don't feel like you have to run and write stuff down if you want to try it. Peel the label off of the can. You leave the can sealed. They come down with this pop top, which I was a little concerned about because we're going to heat the can. And you may notice on the label it says, you know, whatever you do, for the love of God, never heat the unopened can. Just ignore that. Just completely ignore it. Yes, there is a chance the can could explode because it's sealed and you're heating it. But between my sister and I, we've made literally dozens and dozens of these caramel pies. Never had an issue. The last one I made had the little pop-top thing, and I was a little concerned about that. It was no problem. It did not explode. So you take the label off of your can, you put it, I use a big stock pot with a lot of water in it because this is going to boil for about 4 hours. I keep mine in for 4 hours. 3 to 4, but I like 4 because I like it to be nice and firm. So you fill the stock pot with water, bring it to a boil, and then turn it down to a simmer, and then just leave it for 4 hours. I come in, you know, every once in a while and check on it. I'll kind of roll the can around a little bit, add more water if it starts to boil down. Don't let it boil dry or your can really might explode. Keep it covered with water and just leave it alone. And what happens is that sweetened condensed milk, when you heat it like that, it turns to caramel. And you can do it, I've seen online on some places where you can take it out of the thing and heat it in the microwave. I think if you heat it long enough, it'll eventually turn, but I don't know. I haven't tried that. This works for me. It's easy because, you know, you just leave it. You don't have to babysit it. So I boil it in the can. It'll turn to caramel. And it's not a hard caramel. It's a nice, it's just exactly like a cream pie filling, that kind of consistency. And I usually do this the night before, since it's, you know, a 4-hour ordeal. And plus you want the caramel to be completely cool before you scoop it out of the can and put it in your pie crust. So I usually boil my caramel one day. When it's done, I just set the can on the counter, leave it overnight, and then the next day I open it up and you put it in your graham cracker crust. And I usually slice bananas, which I don't have. I'm going to the store tomorrow, so I'll pick up some bananas tomorrow. And I'll slice bananas kind of thin and just line the pie crust with bananas. and then scoop the caramel out of the can, put it in there, and then just pile the, you know, the average size tub of Cool Whip. I just use that whole thing. Pile that on there. Caramel pie. It's delicious. Serve it in small wedges because it's really rich. But it's sort of become a holiday tradition around our house. So anyway, in the interest of kind of cleaning out my pantry and freezer, I'm making caramel pie. But that was really not the reason for the video. I'm going to make some instant oatmeal, which I know you're thinking, well, that's crazy. You just buy instant oatmeal. Well, of course you do. But it can be kind of pricey, and I love oatmeal. When I was growing up, the apples and cinnamon kind, that was my favorite. And not too long ago, I ran across some blog that I'll try to remember to post down there too, where this woman made her own for a whole lot cheaper. You know, you can make whatever flavor you want, make it in bulk. It's not, you know, you can put it in individual baggies. I think that's what she did on her blog, was get those little snack bag Ziplocs and pre-measured it, put it in there. I don't even bother with that. I just put it in a container with a scoop out however much I want, put boiling water on it, and I got oatmeal. So it's just quick and easy, so I thought I would show how to do that. I guess I'm going to have to change camera angles. Okay, here's what, let me show you this. Over here, this is my cookbook. Not really my cookbook, what do you call it? My recipe binder. I have a blog post on this somewhere in my blog where I made it, and it's just an old, this was a photo album, you know, those kind that have the magnetic sheets in there, those old school ones. So I took the sheets out and I've just used it for my recipes. And I just used some cardstock and made up tabs for the categories that I wanted, and then I put them in there in sheet protectors. Hey, look, this is turning into a crafty video. How cool is that? I wasn't expecting to show anything crafty, but I forgot about this. Okay, sorry, I got a little excited there. So, sheet protectors, that's all I do. You know, I just, little things that I write down, I just kind of stick them in the sheet protector, and stuff that I print out. You know, that's the size of it. But this one, found it, here it is. I know you can't probably see this, but it is, I printed out the recipe from the blog called One Good Thing by Jillee, JILLEE.com. And the ingredients that she has listed are 10 cups of quick oats, 2 teaspoons of salt, 1 to 2 cups of brown sugar, depending on how sweet you want it, a cup of non-dairy creamer, you know, the dry stuff, and then snack baggies. That's a lot of oatmeal. I'm gonna cut that in half because I'm the only one that'll eat it at my house. So I'm gonna half that. And I've got my stuff over here. I've got this weird, that's my stove island thing right there. And then this thing, I don't even know what this is. Obviously this is something that the previous owner had added on himself or herself. I don't know. But I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if you can tell how low, because it's not, I guess kids could sit at it. I'm wondering if it was a table that he used for his kids. I'm not really sure, but what I use it for is anytime I use, you know, like my big honkin' KitchenAid blender thing, mixer, I set it on there. I set it right here because there's an electrical outlet here on the side of the island. And then this is my Kitchen Ninja blender deal that I put right there too. So that's what I use it for. Sort of like my little, I don't know, baking center or something. Okay, trying to get the best angle here. And oh, my little My little can started to boil, so I'm going to turn the heat down and let it simmer. I'm going to look at the clock. It is almost 2 o'clock. Okay, so 6 o'clock. I will turn that off. Okay, now my recipe says to put 7 cups of oats into a large bowl. In a large bowl. Can you see that? Yeah. There's my large bowl, perched precariously on top of my blender. 7 cups of oats. Alright, I'm a little bit of an oatmeal snob. Quaker oats is just fine. I really prefer McCann's Irish oatmeal, especially their steel cut oats. Oh my gosh, their steel cut oats are delicious. I have a really good recipe for making it in the crock pot with coconut milk and bananas. Oh, it's so good. But this is just their regular quick cooking rolled oats, you know, kind of like you'd get in the round tub from Quaker. So I'm going to use this, and it said 7 cups, and I'm halving it, so I need 3.5. Did you see how I did that math real quick like that? I know. Pretty darn smart. Alright, 3.5. Not quite 3, so I gotta open up my other box. Oh. This comes inside the box in a bag like this. So I've just gotta cut off the top of the bag to get into it. And get 3.5, give or take. Okay, it's kind of closer to 4. But you know what? That's alright. So, 3.5 cups of quick rolled oats into the big bowl. And the next thing it says is blend the remaining 3 cups of oats in a blender until powdery, and then you add that to the 7. Okay, so I'm going to get my oats, and it said to put 3 cups in the blender, so since we're cutting this in half, I'm going to put 1.5. And this is the trick to making instant oatmeal have the same kind of texture as the store-bought kind. You know, if you just buy quick oats, add some brown sugar, and call it instant oatmeal, it's not the same texture. You don't quite get the same texture as the store-bought kind unless you do this little blender thing. Okay. It said 1.5 of the, yeah, I need 1.5 of the oats for the blender, and I actually put 2 because I added a little extra of the other. So, put that in there. Put a lid on. Close it tight. Turn it on. And how long does it say to blend? It just says blend until powdery. So, we're going to blend until powdery. Okay, let's see what we got. What do you think? You know, blenders never do get everything even, but I don't know. That's pretty powdery. I think I'm going to give it one more little shot, and then we'll call it done. Okay, there is my 1.5 cups of blended powdery oats that I'm going to add to my 3.5 cups of regular oatmeal. Voila! Now I'm going to move this out of the way. We're done with it. I love this Ninja thing. I'd never heard of them until a couple of years ago. My sister was telling me how bad she wanted one, and I went to the website and looked, and I didn't have a good blender. I had one that was our wedding gift that was kind of sad. So they had this buy one get one free thing going on. So I bought her one, and I got it free. Now, add salt, brown sugar, and creamer. It calls for 2 teaspoons of salt, so we're going to put in half, which would be 1 teaspoon. Do you keep your salt in a thing like this? You know, a mason jar with the little... yeah, well, if you don't, you should, because you know, all the cool people do. Or at least that's what I thought, which is why I made one like everyone else. Okay, a teaspoon, close enough. And creamer, this calls for a cup of non-dairy creamer, so we need a half a cup. And I just got the store brand, you know, plain kind. You know, every once in a while, I walk to the back of the camera and just make sure that it's on and recording, because I have done entire videos before with the camera completely off. And, yeah, it made me a little angry. Okay, half a cup of that. And brown sugar. It says 1 to 2 cups. Depending on how sweet you like your oatmeal. Okay. I like my oatmeal sweet. So, 1 to 2 cups would be, half of that would be a half to 1 cup. Yeah, I'm going to put in at least a cup. Maybe more. I have this old canister set that I had, I think when I got my first apartment. And I've broken a couple of them, but I had a couple pieces left, so I have one that I store my powdered sugar in, and I keep brown sugar in this one. Labeled, of course. I label absolutely everything. And I'm just gonna put it in here. Okay, there's about, excuse me, a half a cup. And I don't think it matters if you use light brown or dark brown. Just, you know, use what you've got. And there's another half a cup-ish. And then, I think you just mix it all up. Yep, you mix it all up. Still here. we are. Okay. You stir it up, and then you're done. And since, you know, I like the apples and cinnamon flavor, so last time I made this, I tried to kind of recreate that. I added cinnamon, so I may actually add some cinnamon to this. I like cinnamon and brown sugar. Added the cinnamon. I got some dried apples, you know, not the crunchy ones, but the chewy ones. And I cut them up and put it in here. And then I made some, and it just tasted like brown sugar and cinnamon oatmeal with gummy worms in it. Yeah. So it was then that I realized that the instant oatmeal manufacturer people probably put artificial apple flavoring in theirs to get it all appley and cinnamony, because I think it takes more than just an apple. It might be better if I used fresh apples, but you know, I don't always have fresh apples. Dried ones would be perfect, because you know, I could just add them to my whole little batch here and call it done. But yeah, that didn't really work. So here is my instant oatmeal. And I am going to add a little cinnamon because I like it. And see if I can get the lid off. I don't know. Tablespoon? Something. You can add whatever you like. Other dried fruits. I don't know, maybe bananas. You know, those crunchy dried bananas. I wonder if they would soften up. I don't know, maybe not. But dried fruit or nuts. I know some people like nuts in their oatmeal. I don't. I like nuts. But there are very few foods that I like nuts in. A Pangburns Pecan Millionaire. Oh, heck yeah. I'll eat those all day long. Pecans are my favorite nut. But as a rule, when it comes to, you know, like cakes and candies and things, I'll leave the nuts out. Kind of the same with peanut butter. I like peanut butter, but I like it on a sandwich with jelly. I don't want it in my cakes or pies or desserts or candies. You know, I want it on the sandwich. I'll eat a Reese's cup now and then, you know, if I'm in the mood, but that's about the only peanut butter candy dessert type thing that I can tolerate. Okay, now I have instant oatmeal. I've washed my oatmeal container deal, so I'm going to try this scoop. Here's this is what I keep it in, this little thing that with the seal on it, and then I stick this scoop in there to dish it out. Okay, I'm wondering if I can do this without spilling it everywhere. Chances are good that I'll get more on the floor than in the thing. Okay, I'm making a mess. What can I do? Oh, I know. I'm not about to just hand scoop it by spoonfuls because that would take all day. But, oh, that's not going to work. Okay, here was my brilliant plan. I thought, wouldn't it be easy to put it in a pitcher and then pour it in here? Yeah, okay, but I still got to get it into the pitcher somehow. Alright, that's not working. Maybe this one. Look, that's wide. I could do that. We have to edit that out. That was really retarded. I can't believe I did that. It's better. Not making as big a mess, but still not great. probably should have mixed this up in that measuring cup thing, that big measuring cup deal, because it had a spout. There we go. Alright. A whole thing of instant oatmeal for, well, okay, if you use Quaker's Quick Oats, then yeah, you've saved a lot of money over buying the instant oatmeal packets. If you use them in cans, like I did, you've probably not saved quite so much, but you have saved, and you've got this giant buttload of instant oatmeal ready to be scarfed. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, I think that's all for now. If I remember, maybe tomorrow I will show the finished caramel pie, but if not, go make yourself some oatmeal. It's good for your heart.